Hi, you guys. Okay. Snowfall, Season 4, Episode 8. Okay, the episode starts off with Teddy, and I'm assuming that he's in Nicaragua. He's walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and he got his powder carriage with him as he's walking. As he make his way towards the camp, he noticed that it was dead bodies laying everywhere, like the camp got infiltrated. And all of a sudden, Teddy gets knocked the fuck out. So when he comes to, it's a young lady sitting on a stump, and she's waiting for Teddy to come to, and Teddy is like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? How did you survive all this? Teddy introduces himself. He said, my name is Teddy, and he's asking for people, asking what had happened here. And the young girl gets tired, and she just goes up to him with his knife like she's going to split his throat. Teddy starts pleading with her. He's saying, I'm American, I'm CIA, I help buy the weapons. And she tells him, well, if you were supposed to bring the weapons, you're too late. So Teddy said, I need to speak to Elena. And that makes the girl stop. And she walks him over in a field, and she like clipped him so he can fall. And when he fell, he seen Elena's body dead. The young lady tells him, well, if you were supposed to be here to help, this is all your fault. And Teddy breaks down. He is just having a episode. He is having a fit. And we all know this just isn't about Elena being dead. This is about everything. His brother, his family that he gave up. Everything is just coming down on him. And the young girl, she's just looking at him. And I'm thinking that she's thinking, this privileged white man, he got the nerve to be sitting up here boo-hooing, crying. And all the shit that I done been through, and she just take the rope off his hand and let him have his moment, and she walks away. Okay, over to Man Boy's barbershop. Man Boy has a lot of older barbers working for him. I'm shocked that they can handle his energy and the people that be around him. Anywho, it's the news is buzzing in the barbershop, and you know what they say about barbershops and beauty salons. Once it's out there and they're gossiping about it amongst themselves, it is out there, and they are talking about they know Franklin is the one they talking about in this story. Irene did put Alton's name in it. Wasn't she supposed to keep all their name out of it? I told you that she would do this. And in the back of the barbershop, we have Man Boy, Scully, Khadijah, and Man Boy's homie. And Man Boy is trying to convince them that this news article is about Franklin. And he has plans on taking Franklin's connect, and he's going to kill Franklin and Leon, and everything is going to be all good. So Scully said, you is a scheming ass motherfucker. Scully don't like that sneaky ass shit, which most people don't like us up. That's how Man Boy is. I told y'all, he sit back, peep shit, and be like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. I'm going to do it like that. Like real shysty and grimy. So when Scully said that, Khadijah was like, that's some real shit right there. So Man Boy said, real shit. Real shit is when I saved that foster nigga that touched you, how I repay him back. I'm the one that took care of that motherfucker. And when I tell you that I'm going to take care of Leon for what he did to your daughter, I mean that shit. Okay, over at Louis' bar, Louis, Jerome, Leon, Peaches, and Franklin, they're discussing the paper. And this got Franklin's head fucked up. Jerome is going to fuck off. He's calling Alton a snitching ass motherfucker. And he tells Franklin, nigga, you need to get on your motherfucking knees and beg me for my motherfucking forgiveness. All this bullshit you've been putting us through. I said, whoa. Jerome is like, y'all motherfuckers keep dragging me through this shit. And y'all got me in this shit. Now here the fuck I am. He asked Franklin, has he heard from Reed? And he said no. So all of them is now feeling abandoned. Franklin is trying to calm the gang down. He's telling them, who father are they quoting? I'm the one in trouble here. Nobody's worried, or everybody worried about what they gonna do. Oh my goodness, Franklin, what's gonna happen to me? Do any of y'all motherfuckers care about what's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to Franklin? Franklin tells them, I'm going to do like I always done. Like I did with that Judas Kevin. Like I did with that bitch ass Andre. I always have keep y'all safe. I'ma do what the fuck I always do. Stand in front of the bullets in order to keep you motherfuckers safe. So unless y'all have some ideas of how I can deal with this or concern or compassion, I don't want to hear shit else. I'm feeling Franklin on this one. And did y'all peep how Leon, this was his first time finding out, and he was just cool. He was chilling. I was thinking Leon was going to have the most problem because, he was left in the dark. It's a busy day at the Herald newspaper. It's not even noon yet, and Irene has 5 major papers and 3 networks reach out to her. The Guardian is online too, and the Time magazine sent over a bottle of champagne. Irene is being very apathetic towards all of the attention and perks that she's been receiving all day. She tells her boss that she'll be happy when the government is shitting themselves on live TV. Her boss tells her, well, hearings may never come. For a while, this is as good as it's going to get. So Irene asks, why are you talking like this? And her boss tells her, it's not just the papers and the network calling. The White House and the Pentagon both have reached out. This isn't a game. They're going to come for us full force. Irene has another call from Mr. X, a.k.a. Franklin, and he wants to meet up with Irene. He says he wants to give her more information about the story. Irene meets Franklin down at her favorite bar, and she wants to know information about the CIA. Irene pulls her big-ass recorder out. She tells Franklin, you want to say your part? Here's your chance. Franklin said, I'm into real estate. And Irene said, cheap denials are a waste. Franklin said, yeah, because you have grand plans. Franklin goes on to tell Irene that I watched the struggle ruin my father. How I see it is you join the system or you become what you hate, or fight it and let it destroy you. I found the best of both worlds. Their system, my way. Irene tells Franklin, you think that you're protected, Franklin? Franklin tells Irene, don't worry about me. If your story is true, wars, drugs, the government, you, of all people, should know that it's nothing that the government won't do to kill this story. And it won't just be you. It will be Henry and Jane. Irene gets all upset. Leave my family the fuck out of this. Franklin had to tell her, hold up now. Irene, you saying it like I'm going to be the one that hurt you. Irene is now shook, guzzling down that liquor. And I think this is the first time that she looked at this is bigger than Franklin. In the government eyes, Franklin is a small fish. How will Irene handle the CIA, the government? Okay, now we see who's Tinashe working for, and it's Manboy. She seems to be getting agitated with Manboy. She wants her brother's safety to be insured, and she wants her payment. She tells Manboy, look, y'all have Franklin. It's my fault, not my fault that y'all couldn't follow him. Franklin isn't stupid, and when he catches on to this, my ass is dead. Manboy said, so you think Franklin the only person that you gotta worry about? And he takes the gun and he shoots a wall for whatever reason. Manboy goes on to say, look, I know you're tired, but I don't have the plug yet. And I'm giving you to the end of this week. If no plug, you and your brother is dead. Okay, Teddy Superior comes over. I guess he done read the newspaper because we see Gustavo is reading the paper. And he wants to grab something from Teddy's office. So he goes on up and the door's locked. He come back down and he says the door's locked. Gustavo say you don't have a key. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be in there. And he tells Teddy, Gustavo, Teddy works for me. And Gustavo said, he does, I don't. Teddy Superior grabs a crowbar and he said, listen to me, your boss is in trouble and I'm going to save his ass. And Gustavo grabs that gun and just pointed at him. Now he's realizing that Oso is not playing with his ass and he leaves. A few moments later, he returned with some muscle and Gustavo cleared all that shit up. Everything, including the safe, is gone. That's why I love me some Oso. He's going to get shit done. And I believe if Teddy Boss would have had access to all of his information, if he would have gotten that off of some way, the CIA would have abandoned Teddy. They would have distanced themselves and shut that operation down. We don't know what's going on here. Okay, over to Sissy's. Alton creeps in and asks Sissy to run away to Cuba with him. Someone is getting passports and he has a flight that's leaving tonight. And he wants her to come. He's talking about we have all the money. We, Alton, you don't have shit. You left all that shit when you decided to snake your family out. Although Sissy didn't give a yes or a no, a clear yes or a no, I don't think that she will leave Franklin. She already told Alton this. Sissy is married to Alton, and to be honest, Sissy is supposed to have her husband's back. Alton did try to confine his disdain for the drug operation to Sissy, but because Franklin can do the things that for Sissy that Alton could never do, she looks to Franklin as the head of their household. Sissy does love and care for her son, but she is drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not saying that snake your son out or anything. What Alton did was totally wrong. But just because you're my son does not mean I have to put up with and accept your lifestyle. I can love you from a distance. Sissy does love herself some Alton, but I don't know if she's going to choose Alton over her son. Down in Nicaragua, Teddy tells the young lady that it's another camp not too far down the road, and she asks Teddy, was he going there as well? Teddy said, no, I have to report what happened here. So the young lady looks disappointed, and she's like, yeah, you have to go back to the United States, right? Like I mentioned before, she sees Teddy as some privileged American who make promises, and empty promises at that, i.e. Teddy being missing for 3 months, and they're counting on him, and now they're all dead, and she's the only one alive. Teddy feels bad, and he gives the girl a wad of cash and tells her to go make a new life. She's reluctant, but he leaves the cash under a rock and tells her by dawn he'll be gone. And when Teddy awakes, the lady and the money is gone. Jerome and Lloyd is debating whether or not to attend Fatback's funeral. Jerome done started a bond with the dudes down in the projects, and he feels obligated to attend. Lloyd feels hanging in the projects and attending funerals while it's a bounty on all of their heads is too dangerous. Although I agree with Lloyd that it is dangerous to be in particular circles while having a price on their head, but Lloyd could offer some type of support in many other ways and be low-key at the same time, just so your soldiers know that and can see that you have their support and best interests at heart. And with that being said, I totally agree with what Jerome tells Lloyd. Jerome says to Lloyd, look, I'm looking for trouble when trouble is all around us because you and Franklin the reason. Y'all the ones setting fires and want to blame me when shit get hot. Fuck all of that. I'm putting all you bitches on notice right now, starting with this funeral, because them boys in the projects are the only ones I can trust right now. And you want to sit up there in your little ivory tower. And I have to agree with him. Yes, Lloyd wants to set all these little fires everywhere, but don't want to deal with the messy stuff. And you can't have one without the other. Just like her trip up the Little Rock, she didn't tell her friends the real with the drug game. But when shit hits the fan, she's going to want to distance herself from all of that. I bet you. Okay, it's the day of the funeral and everyone is in attendance. Lloyd, she even comes. She tells Jerome, if you can be here, so can I. Meanwhile, Khadijah and her goons spotted Leon, and they are ready to take him and whoever gets in their way out. They pulls up and they start busting bullets everywhere, and Louis is shot. When Louis was on that ground, I said, fuck no, Khadijah must die. At the hospital, all the Saint family, along with Snakehead Tanase, and even Rennie is there because, you know, Jerome is family now down to the projects. Franklin tells Leon to keep control over Jerome because once Lloyd is stable, Jerome is going to want to go down to Manboy and get revenge. Leon pulls Franklin to the side and he said, actually, that was Scully baby mother and 2 other bitches, and they probably the ones that murdered Fatback. So Tanashi's snake ass was lurking in their business and interrupted them by saying it was Khadijah, and she tells Franklin that she can find out who the other 2 was. Tanase takes her snake ass home and she hit Manboy up and tell him everything that happened. Manboy is like, what the fuck? This bitch is out of control. Tanase tells Manboy that she hit Lloyd, and Manboy said, damn, Jerome about to flip out. Tanase tells Manboy, like, look, if you want disconnect, you're going to have to get your sister to chill. And she also tells Manboy that she has a plan that might work. So Manboy tells her, look, get to it. Back at the hospital, Sissy is stressed the fuck out with all the events that's been going on. She tells Franklin that she cannot believe that she's back down at the hospital for yet another one of them. She also tells Franklin that Willie came by to return the money that they gifted Paul Davis. Honey, Paul Davis said, thank you, but no thank you. Y'all niggas are messy. Franklin said, oh, they just scared. When all of this blows over, they'll be running back. Fuck them. We'll just make other business moves. Sissy tells him that no respectable company will be willing to do business with them. It's all over. We'll never be legit now. Franklin gets a page and he tells his mom that they'll talk about it later. And Sissy just yells out, I'm moving out. I'm moving out of South Central. And Franklin said, what? Like, what's going on? You moving with Alton? She tells Franklin, no, I'm no longer mother and wife first. She tells him from now on that she's choosing herself. And I think that's fair. I really think that she's being genuine about that. I think that if she wanted to go with Alton, she would have told Franklin, like, look, this is my husband. I choose to follow him. Back at the Herald, Irene's superiors are telling her that they cannot be responsible for outing the identity of an active CIA officer. Irene's boss says, so what about his alias? And the superior said, well, that's even worse. It could blow his cover and all of his assets and contacts. So Irene said, yeah, the drugs and armed dealers. Her superior tells her, you think you're feeling the heat right now? Get the CIA agent killed and watch what happens. And in walk the lead counsel and 2 men from the Pentagon. Ultimately, Teddy Connect must have came through to stop the story because Irene is at home and she's packing up a box to send with her ex-husband because she tells him that she doesn't know how long that she's going to be off the grid. Her ex-husband asks her, are you listening to yourself? Off the grid. If your paper won't fight this, why should you? And Irene says she doesn't want to be scared off this. Her ex-husband calls her stubborn and she tells him, yeah, that's why you married me. He laughs in agreement to what she said. He tells her, look, you can come to my house. And Irene said, no, I need to stay at least one more night. I'm exhausted after all of this. And she tells him, you think after all these years that I would have more important things besides this what's in that box? Irene tells her, look, Irene, while everyone has their heads in the sand, you stand up straight and tall, and I'm proud of you. And I think Irene needed that. You know, she's getting all these closed doors, and she's been working hard all her life. And he is right. Irene is a brave woman, but I don't think that she's a smart woman trying to expose the government. Okay, Teddy finally makes it back to the U.S. and he arrives back to his spot and his superior is there. And Teddy tells him, look, I need to tell you what happened in Nicaragua. He tells Teddy, no, I need to tell you what happened here first. That page that Franklin got in the hospital was Teddy, and he was 45 hot. He asks Franklin, what the fuck is this? And Franklin said, my dad, I thought I can trust him. Teddy noticed blood on Franklin's shirt. Franklin tells him what happened to Lloyd and that she was in surgery right now, and Teddy is genuinely concerned. And he goes on to tell Franklin that if they don't get a hold of this story, there will be no tomorrow. He tells Franklin that his connections is stopping the second half of the story from being published, and they need to get Irene under control. Franklin tells Teddy, I tried. Teddy said, what the fuck you mean you tried? And Franklin tells him, look, you wasn't returning my calls. I had to do something. I told her that she doesn't know who the fuck she's really fucking with. But I don't think these idle threats is going to work with her. And Teddy was kind of relieved that Franklin didn't do anything sinister. He tells Franklin, okay, I got her, but I'm going to need you to keep a muzzle on your father. And as he's walking away, Franklin said, I thought for sure it was over. You cut me loose and I'll never hear from you again. And Teddy told him, look, I told you that I'll be there for you. And I will. But listen, from here on out, you can't trust anyone. Because in the end, everyone is out for themselves. And you know that. Teddy and Oso breaks into Irene's house and she doesn't stand a chance. She is muffled and Teddy tells her, tomorrow you will wake up. The next time you won't. And they inject her with something that I guess to knock her out. And I don't see Irene coming back for more. I don't know. This is Irene we're talking about. So we shall see. Franklin makes it back to the hospital and Louis is now stable. Jerome gets a call from the nurse that he can come back and have some time with Louis. And he tells the crew to get ready because after he spends his time with Louis, he's ready to go and hit up Manboy and them. Tanase tells Franklin who the girls was. Black Diamond and Dallas, ex-dancers who are now hustling for cash, and they are dangerous. Also, Manboy is borderline obsessed with trying to find your connect, Franklin. Franklin asks her, okay, where you going with this? And this is where this bitch fucked up. She said, a peace broker approach. You offer your connect to him. In exchange, he talks Khadijah down. And this way you might avoid a war. Tanase, you are very dumb, girl. Leon says to Tanase, Tiana was his niece. Do you really think that he'll let shit go for a plug? And Tanase said, yes. Manboy is a businessman. Franklin tells Tanase, look, let me think about it. And this is when I realized that Franklin Smarts has re-emerged. Leon pulls him to the side. He said, you know damn well if Manboy agrees. Once he get that plug, we cannot trust him. Franklin said, no, we can't trust any of it. I'm like, yes, Franklin is back. He goes over to Tanase and he tells her to set up the deal with Drew and page him afterwards. Now, Jerome is up there with Louie. Louie is stable, but she's still like in a coma state. So, Jerome is just fucked up right now. And I bet you he feel guilt above everything else because he was just going off about how she need to be there. After Jerome's visit, he is ready for revenge. He tells Leon he wants to grab some men from down the projects, get the strap, and get the head hunting and kill every last motherfucker that's in that barbershop. Leon tells Jerome, buddy, I hear you, but Franklin want us to wait for him. Jerome said, fuck Franklin, they shot my baby up. Let's go. Tanase gets home and she hits Drew up. Tanase said, okay, everything is in motion. Now all you have to do is convince him that Khadijah will back down. Stall her long enough to make it look real, Drew. Manboy asks how soon. You know, that's what he wants. He wants this connect. He want to know how soon. Tanase said, first of all, I want the rest of my money and I want your promise that my brother will be okay. And just so you know, Jerome is talking a lot of shit and he's coming for your ass tonight. Manboy tells Tanase, let him come. It's his funeral. Honey, Tanase thought she did all of the things right today. She flopped down on the couch and she let out a big sigh of relief. And unbeknownst to her, Franklin and Peaches creeped up on her. And Franklin said, hey, T, how long you been playing me? I hope Franklin gets her to bait over Manboy and he kills them both. Matter of fact, bait over the whole family and just kill all of them. That's so ruthless. And that's where the story ends. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.